that dream that we have within us to live within community with one another is not for nothing.
Yeah.
But we have to be willing to do the work.
Having those check-ins are going to be super important. And then just making sure that we're not just signing on, yes, just cause.
The things that we would do, the things that we would do that are normal to us, I can't just be doing because on y'all's right hand is your partner.
This is the situation that we've agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
So things are going to come up.
Yeah.
But if instead of coming to the conversation looking for an offense, we come with a level of curiosity, and it's easy to turn an offense into
an aha moment.
You guys being able to be and open up certain parts of yourself because of that to your kids, that's going to even more so be able to create space for you guys to just like receive your kids on just being their best friend basis.
Oh my gosh. In my prayers last night, I put that on my mama, on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my bag, wish you could. I look fly, I look too good. Hey, welcome back, ladies, and welcome back, you guys.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Q said we have to start leaving the men out.
Gentlemen.
Not just the girls, but the guys too. Welcome back to the Feels Like Home podcast, guys. I am your host, one of three, Jess, and I'm here with my beautiful sissy, Juliet, and our lovely mother, Gina. Hey. And so today we're actually just going to jump right back into this conversation. If you missed it, don't forget to check out part 1 of this really fun episode. I'm really enjoying the conversation. We're really talking about how we personally are planning on or working to rebuild our village, taking on a village mentality, and doing that by multi-generational living. So make sure you hop back to part 1 if you're new to this conversation. If not, welcome back. We're going to dive right in.
Yes.
So we spoke in the last episode about things that we were really excited about, things that really affected us in our separate having lived together up until this point in our lives. But now we really want to get into kind of what we are a little bit more concerned about, what we're a little bit more wanting to set boundaries for, during this time. So you guys being the main focus of this home that you're going to be building that's going to be multi-generational, what is it that you guys are most wanting to set boundaries for, or that you're most wanting to make sure that you are bringing to the forefront that we're paying attention to when having more than one generation in a home?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good question.
So I think for me, especially with my personality, which is
Aquarius.
a free for all.
Yeah,
I get free for all vibes, right? Having a husband who, I really am, putting top of mind, because I know this is not normal for him, right? So it's going to be super important to me that when we're setting, like our boundaries, when we have our official convo about boundaries, and understanding that conversation will always be evolving, right?
An ongoing conversation.
Just an ongoing conversation, because we did commit to, doing check-ins. Like, we're literally going to make, weekly check-ins to say, hey, this was some of the things that went really well. Let's keep doing that. Or, hey, this didn't go so well. Let's think about a way that we can do that better, right? Having those check-ins are going to be super important. And then just making sure that we're not just signing on, yes, just cause, without putting thought to it.
Yeah, because we think that, we do have a tendency to people please.
Absolutely. Yeah, not
clearly we're, again, not new to this.
Yeah.
True to the work that we've been doing.
Absolutely.
And, not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
Not when you don't have to. Not ever, but.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Right? And so just really, for me, that's what that's going to look like. Just making sure I'm being honest with myself. And, because, like, I have a routine with my mumu, and in the morning she knows that she can get up JoJo's still sleeping because he likes to sleep in, and she'll come in and she'll knock on the door and she'll spend time with me while I get ready for work. Right? That could look different.
Right.
You know, that could look like, hey, well, if the door's closed, you got to come back, baby. Because either I'm not going to have time before work, because that can be a regular thing. Like, I have gone back into the office 5 days a week, so y'all pray for me on that one.
Yes.
But 5 days a week after
prayers.
Almost 5 years of either working full-time from home or having a hybrid schedule. And now I have to go into the office every day, having to transition, you know, into being in the office on time and not being able to say, ooh, you know, I can spend time with Mumu a little bit more. And if I'm 10 minutes, 20 minutes late, it won't matter. Like, no, I need to get into the office every day. So setting boundaries with her and for me, because I still will always put my family first. That'd be all right if I'm, you know, but I have to be more conscious about that because it's going to be long term, not necessarily for the weekend or long weekend or whatever. So that's going to be new for me. Yeah.
I think piggybacking off of what you said about Papa Stephen, I think that that's, you know, top of mind for me too, because although we have had plenty of experience living in each other's spaces on multiple occasions, like Juliet said, we touched a lot on that in part 1. So if you want the kind of our backstory on how we got here, make sure you do that. But Papa Stephen is new to this.
Yeah.
And because even Q, he's experienced us living together, you coming into our space. So he is familiar with sharing spaces, but now Papa Stephen, he deserves the space for this to be new for him.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that always means that you're going to come into the conversation knowing exactly what you need, what your triggers are, what boundaries you need. And I think that that's unrealistic to have that expectation of him or of any of us.
Yeah.
And so I think that having the boundary or having the practice that we've said about having regular check-ins allows everyone the opportunity to stay and like have a constant pulse of how they're feeling about the situation in a safe space to be able to say that their needs have changed or, hey, I didn't know that this was going to bother me, but like, let's talk about how we can address this. I want to make sure that that's top of mind, not just for Papa Stephen, but for all of us. And thinking about my own husband too. It's literally like two men's men. I don't know what the male equivalent of a girl's girl is, but they are that like sharing space together. I'm very curious, but also excited about what that potential holds, but also knowing it's going to take some boundaries being set in place.
Absolutely. I'm excited about that. And when we talk about men's men, I think they are the epitome of that. But also I think that, you know, Babe will get, you know, Stephen will get an opportunity to show up for Son in a stepdad capacity, and then Son will get to look up. Because that was something that we didn't talk about this in the first episode, but in that dinner that we had to introduce the idea, there were tons of tears.
Yeah.
Like everybody had a tear moment. Like everybody's tear ducts were loose that day.
You
know what I mean? Like everybody had a moment when they...
I'm going to get a shirt that says loose tear duct.
Wait,
merch.
Add that to the merch list.
Yeah, don't steal that, y'all. Y'all can pick that up.
If you'd like some merch, put the eyeballs in the comments.
Right, but it's all, you know, it's all of the, you know, letting women be in their soft space and letting men be in their soft space too, to say like, I need this in my life.
Right.
Like it's absent and I want it. You know what I mean? And for JoJo to be able to see what that looks like.
I need it now.
Come on, now.
But let JoJo get to see what that looks like from a little boy perspective, growing up into young manhood and Bubba too. You know, so it's going to have such a huge impact on the great life that we've already been blessed with. So. Yeah.
Juliet, from your perspective, like the outside looking in on this situation, but definitely not from the conversation, and you know us all fairly well, are there any like red flags or like maybe things that you foresee that you want to be like, y'all might want to see about that?
I definitely think that, again,
and she's just smiling because she knows she got knowledge to drop. She about to drop some. She's like, let me tell you. Thanks for asking.
You know we need your 2 and 3 cents. Go ahead.
So I was telling Mom whenever she told me that they had accepted you guys wanting
Y'all's
to
all proposal.
Yes,
Yeah.
or your proposal. That I was telling her like that she's really like she's good with the whole like healthy shit. She's good with the like crunchy mom vibes. Mm-hmm. Papa Steven,
on the other hand,
he not ready for the way that y'all finna whip him into shape.
I think he really is, though. I think it's just going to be consistency. I think seeing it not just being for the weekend, for while y'all are here, I think it's the consistency part.
When
Because
I tell you,
he's way more vain than we are about, looking good and feeling good. Like he is. He just hasn't had a good example set consistently because, he think he got all the answers, but he don't know.
Look, because the ACs do not play.
No, with the sea moss, with the spoonful of sea, like got the kids eating that shit like that. What is that? It's good. Made me try it.
Health is wealth.
No, literally.
Jojo told me, you and Papa Stevie, y'all need to eat more fruits and vegetables.
And that's how I know that's my child. That's why I know me and Jojo right here. Because even this morning, Gigi goes, Mommy, can I have some Cheerios? And she said, no, you cannot have some more Cheerios. And then she goes, wait, actually, we're not going to be having Cheerios for breakfast whenever we live here. So go ahead and get your little fix of Cheerios.
Yeah, this will be your last time. Technically, right now, this is still Mimi's house. We don't live here yet. And when you go to Mimi's house, y'all have Cheerios.
She's in.
I'm not going to take that away from you. Go have your last bowl of Cheerios and enjoy.
I was like, I saw her in there with Cheerios, just rubbing her feet together, eating her Cheerios.
I don't want to take that from her. Today?
It's still your Mimi's house.
Yeah.
Not today.
No,
so
but that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that's going to make a huge difference. I also think that if you don't already have kids around you regularly, like your village isn't full of kids, the way that it softens your heart, the way that it helps you be able to channel your own inner child.
If you allow it to.
Yeah. You have to be open to it.
It does a thing. It does a thing. And I even think for you and Q, like you were saying in the last episode, go see about that your kids having a safe place to be outside of the two of you, even you guys being able to be and open up certain parts of yourself because of that to your kids, because you're not going to be the only ones responsible for that they eat and that they get somewhere on time and that they spend time outside and all of the other things that you prioritize for them, because mom is going to, without you even asking, put that on her plate. Therefore, it will be on Steven's forefront. And that's going to even more so be able to create space for you guys to just like receive your kids on just like being their best friend basis.
Oh my gosh. That is so real. I was in my prayers last night. How did you know I was going to say that? Or I didn't know I was going to say that, but now I have to say it since you said that. Yeah, in my prayers, I was saying that, just expressing gratitude for that.
God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
You got to finish it.
God is good.
Yeah.
Just be showing up.
We've lived a lot of places. We've lived all over the world, and I've had the pleasure of exposing my kids to new places and new experiences. We have been able to do that together, but that does require me to have to be a certain kind of mom to provide that type of lifestyle for them and to make it sustainable so that it is something that we grow from and not something that has turned into a trauma. It requires me to be a certain version of myself.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always leave much room. I prioritize making room, but it doesn't leave much room for just the everyday nuances that come with feeling at home, and how you're received when you're at home. Just like we have created this space that feels like home. When we get in here and we're together, we don't have to try to turn it on. It just is, because this is home. When you're not at home, you have to work to create that space. And a lot of my energy has been put into creating that space for not just for them, but even for me, so that I am not resentful and the way life has. I've gone through this journey. Yeah, gone through this journey. Always leading with gratitude, but with that in mind, I get to now approach this season like with so much excitement. If y'all can't tell, we are very optimistic. This was supposed to be talking about like maybe what our fears and like what we're nervous about and this and that, but can't help but like alchemize that into what goodness it's going to hold, because I'm excited for my kids to be able to experience me at home. Yeah. What it feels like to have mommy on her home court with her people, with support, laughing, not because I am creating joy, but because I am joy right now. Like I don't have to work so hard for it. And
you can let your guard down, because as moms, parents, our guard is always head stay on a swivel. Literally, you're just always on that mode. But when you know you're in that safe space where when you don't want your head to be on a swivel because somebody else's is for you, right? It's a different kind of living.
Or it's a different kind of living. So it's like there's so many of us that you don't have to see past your peripheral, because there's someone right there and
That's
there.
That's the head on swivel
right
I'm talking about.
Like No, you don't. The swivel ain't even got to be there.
Right. Because I am so grateful for our time overseas. So if you guys are new to my channel or to our journey, my husband was a professional basketball player, and that journey took us, he was in the NBA. So we played and lived in multiple cities here in the States, but also overseas. So we've spent time in Israel and China and Greece, and so much that I learned during those seasons that I then brought home. Like, ooh, I spent my time here. This is what I learned, bringing it home. Like, I enjoyed thoroughly all of those seasons. But still, there's something to be said about having to be the one, especially the only woman trying to fend for your children while your husband is working in a foreign country. Requires a different level of parenting and intentionality that I am happy to lay down for a little bit. And I'm not saying that time will never come again or whatever, but I'm just happy to lay that down. And laying that down, like Dad always said, like when you let go of something, you're also saying you're ready to receive. And so like letting go of that part of myself, regardless of how grateful and enjoyable that was, but knowing like I'm also getting to say like, ooh, what tool are you going to hand me next if I've let that one go? I know the next one's going to be really good and it's going to be useful. So I'm really looking forward to getting to be a little bit more of my kids' friend, getting to allowing them to see me not so on guard. Not crunchy.
Look, now she's in the
literally in the wrong context. That was something.
Well, that's coming up in a minute.
We were talking about your parents using terms just all wrong, but we'll let that one ride.
I feel like that was right though.
Adjacent. It was right adjacent.
But the definition was adjacent. Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
How do we feel like when we're together regularly, really respect one another? Like, what are the things that we do that we do not do when we're not together, but we do them when we're together because it's out of respect for how we know each other operate or how we know each other work?
Top of mind, Papa Steven is so, well, both of y'all, that's why y'all ended up together. Y'all, anytime they step out together, it's giving GQ. It's giving, like, they truly show up as their best selves you can tell that it's for themselves, and then the fact that y'all do it together makes it for the other. You know, y'all literally just thrive off one another. I love it. And
Thanks.
but that also goes into y'all's space. So if you walk into the Fraser home, it's giving
Crunchy.
okay. Thank you, Juliet. Thank you.
And Steven's probably going.
It's giving crunchy adjacent. No, everything is staged to a T. The formal dining room is formal. The casual dining room is casual formal dining. You like
Yeah.
the living room is for sitting like this. And
We don't tell people how to say when they come to our home, just so y'all know.
because it's implied.
Y'all know we ain't got nice shit like this just to have you
Flopping and flipping.
But coming here like you got some sense. And not saying that my 3 kids don't have sense, but when they go to
They're
Mimi's house,
children.
they are looking forward to pushing y'all outside of that. And that, just like you said, that's one thing when it's just for a long weekend or
Yeah.
spring break. But when you're talking about on a daily basis, that kind of goes back to maybe like a little apprehension, or maybe something that I am nervous about is what that transition is going to be like in handling that, because it is something that is for top of mind, like you said, you out of respect. Like, I'm not trying to come in here tearing y'all shit up.
at all. That's not what we're going for.
But
No.
being a homeschool mom,
Yeah.
thankfully I'm a stay-at-home mom, so like I do, part of my everyday is keeping a home, so like I'm not worried about it, but it is something that I do out of respect. Like, all right, y'all.
But this is how I feel about that. Because I feel like I'm still raising Jew in that space, because she literally is come into the house and she just flipping and flopping.
I just forget to take my shoes off, or like it's
I'm like, little girl. But
and
here's the thing for the grandkids, though. It's, you know, the real world is still out there. And when you get out there, you don't want what you learn to be the first time you're learning it from people that don't love you. You know what I'm saying? So you want to learn that at home. And y'all had home training, that needs to happen too. And not that it's not happening at your home, because that's different. A grandparent's home is just different than your parents' home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm not worried about that, because the kids listen. You know, they just got good sense. You know what I mean? And B, it's just like, hey, there's some etiquette that happens in life. You know what I mean? And you don't want somebody that doesn't love you trying to teach you something that they may not even know well themselves.
Absolutely.
Or correctly themselves. So they'll get that at their grandparents' house. You know what I mean? Whatever they're not getting at home, they'll get it from us. And so it's just, I see it more as a filler than an origination. Like, it's just going to be like, hey, let's fine tune that behavior that you already know. And we're just going to take it another step, because at 5 is different than at 7, than at 9 and at 13 where Boog is. You don't have to act like you're 13. No, you can still be 5 and 7 years old.
Right.
I want that for you. Like, I don't want to snatch your youth away from you before it's coming. So we don't have to worry about that. But that doesn't mean you can't pick up. If your hands can reach that sink, you can put your dishes in the sink. That's not going to kill you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And some of that stuff could just be fun. We have a vacuum cleaner that you
they
can
love
run.
to help.
You
and
can
that's
run
why
that
I said
vacuum
I'm
cleaner.
less worried about them. I really am. I'm less worried about them, and I'm more so
worried about being crunchy.
I'm more so worried about me. I'm not even worried, but I'm just being intentional about not letting that consume me.
Yeah.
Not letting
and we don't
kids
want that too. So that needs to be said up front. That's not it. That's not what we're trying to do, because again, the benefit that we have as grandparents is that we just learn how to do things better than we did them when we were parents. You know what I mean? Because it's just not we can't sweat the small stuff. That's period. I can't say it no different than you cannot sweat the small stuff. Things can be replaced. Now, that's how I feel about it. You know, Stephen might feel differently because it might be his favorite thing from whatever reason. And some people attach themselves to things. I'm just not that person. But that doesn't mean I won't respect him in that space. And that's okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. But
yeah, they're going to get a healthy dose of respect, respectability in this season. And I love that for them.
Yeah.
Speaking about the kids.
That the thing that I do around y'all that I do not do for myself out of respect for y'all is definitely like remembering that you guys come with partners. that I can't just be doing like the things that we would do, the things that we would do that are normal to us. I can't just be doing because on y'all's right hand is your partner, and
like
one they're men, and two they are not us. So like whenever I lived with you guys, I really was like on the forefront of my mind definitely was like making sure when I shower, I lock the door because the kids are like in and out all the time, and I had a clear shower. Or like that when we're together, we pee with the door open. Can't do that. Whenever I'm at the Frasers, I know that Mom doesn't necessarily care that even though I came from my home with my slippers on, there's still shoes to Steven. So I should take them out. I should take them off at the door.
That's how close she lives, y'all. She can leave her front door. House shoes. Mom's same house shoes because it took 2 steps to get there.
Right.
So
Literally.
to Steven, there's still shoes.
Right.
So I still have to take them off at the front door, or that like if I'm gonna, even though I'm gonna be right back, that I either need to make the bed or I need to close the door behind me because he doesn't like that.
Well, doors open, and just like Jess said, the house is staged, so the doors are open. So when you walk by, the bed needs to be made up.
So then it's again, these are things that I do not necessarily for y'all, but because I know that your right hands come with y'all,
they care
so
about that kind of
I
stuff.
have to respect those things.
Well, and again through osmosis, it's like now I'm low key like
Better
onto
at it.
something.
Yeah,
like
you're better at it.
Yeah. Well, maybe making the bed at first was like not necessarily mom's like, can you make sure you make the bed? Maybe it was submitted by Steven, but now I'm like, I like how it looks when I walk past the room and the bed is made. Let me
start that.
Yeah,
right.
Adopt that.
Right. But even when Jude talks about like shoes off at the door, that wasn't like I don't wear my shoes in the house, but I do wear slippers in the house. Like I don't walk around the house barefoot. I'm not a barefoot walking around house stuff person.
Type person.
Right. But I am a person that I would come home when I live by myself, and if I was so tired, I would get under the covers with my clothes on. I'm not taking off my clothes. I'm going to lay down for a little bit, and I'm not taking my clothes off.
I'm powering down.
Exactly. And when I met him, he was like, you getting in the bed with your outside clothes on? And he was like, you've been with all that bacteria and people coughing and you've been sitting in chairs. And I never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that. And then this is where I'm going to take my shower and get in the bed with the outside clothes stuff. And I was like, ew.
I do need to do that differently.
So back to your point, it's something catches and you just pick it up and it just makes sense.
Look.
You know what I mean? And so it's those type of things that we will pick up as we go, and you do because when you say you do to a lot of things, not just to the person. You say you do to their family. You say you do to their behaviors, good and bad. You say I do to all of those things, and everything can't be an offense.
Right.
Some things are just going to have to be, right? You know what? Okay. I can get with that.
And I think getting something that me and Q practiced, Ju, when you were living with us, and there was a stint of time where Dad was also living with us or staying with us for an extended time. I would have to say, okay, babe, like, we're having a lot of these conversations, not that we can't or won't continue to have conversations, but instead of coming to the table with an offense, because this is the situation that we've agreed to. So things are going to come up.
Yeah.
But if instead of coming to the conversation looking for an offense, we come with a level of curiosity, and it's easy to turn an offense into
an aha moment.
Literally just like instead of you didn't take your shoes off at the front door, Mom, you're just gonna get in the bed with your clothes on. You know, like it's easy to say that, but then you can also turn it and say, you don't think it's weird that you walk outside with your house shoes and with your inside shoes on? Like get curious about it instead of taking it personal and trying to project what you believe is normal onto the other person, maybe instead lead with curiosity so that you have the conversation, and then your intent, if your intent is for them to not wear the shoes in the house, you've had the conversation and now it resonates with the person as to why they should or should not wear their shoes in the house or get in the bed with their clothes on. Now they're thinking about it and they're like,
actually, I don't.
You're right.
I didn't think past that part.
Right.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I think too that another like take on that is that sometimes I think that because we are good communicators, we communicate with each other regularly, that sometimes Steven and Q will submit something to you guys thinking that it's good for you guys to be the deliverer of information when they have the free reign to just talk to somebody. Like it, and that's how you cultivate connection.
Yes, and relationship.
Right.
So in those times or instances, just encouraging them the same way that them approaching our situations with curiosity is encouraging to us encouraging them to just say,
Take
like,
the lead.
You know that they would love to hear that from you.
Yeah.
I started doing that, like literally, and I don't know if you've seen that Steven's coming to you more often. Yeah, so now I'm like, I don't have to have it. I'm not the liaison to the liaison to. No, bro, you can do that. Like, I believe in you. Go and have that conversation.
I was like,
Pat on the butt.
Go kill him, Tiger.
but the first time I was like, he is not asking me to
do X, Y, and Z.
But then I hang up the phone and I go,
I asked for that. Like, I asked for that. Yeah,
actually,
right. Yeah, you got what you asked for. Be careful. Because she was like, well, he could. I'm not, and I'm going to remind him. Because he can't. I don't have to be in every conversation. Like, I literally, they love you.
But
you could tell them.
That's part of
growth.
Rebuilding the village.
Exactly. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to those type conversations where we're all having
together.
Yes, we're all having conversations.
I think a big part of this puzzle that we haven't like shown a light on or mentioned is that we are a blended family.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
Like, not just from Papa Steven being our stepdad, but also I have a stepson. Austin is my stepson, and that comes with a whole dynamic. There are some responsibilities that happen in our home, wherever that is, but also outside of our home.
Yeah.
And lots of dynamics to account for. And I think that just, it can feel like it heightens the stakes, but also when you're not assuming anything, it's a lot. I feel like, at least for me, it's easier to not assume. It's just easier to ask because it's like literally you come from a different family. You just might not know that. I just might not know how you did things, and you just don't know how I did things. So let's just have the conversation.
Absolutely.
And then that's how we're in community together. It's no longer mom's husband this or Jess and her husband that. It's now we have really built a community, a village, a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that this is a good opportunity for us to share like some funny things that have happened in us living together and what has come to fruition due to that. I would like to start because it's definitely, and Jay is here. He has this, was.
Yes, our cousin Jay is in the studio.
And sometimes we partake in extracurricular activities. And
that people partake in.
Literally, it's a thing.
Hush, you're just back there.
And I remember one time when I was staying with Jess, I obviously had to do said thing outside. The kids live in the home. So I had come in from my sesh outside, and I had left remnants of my sesh on the counter. But
on my marble countertop.
But it was marble, so I obviously after like now I'm swifty, and so
now that you have marble countertops.
So then it's like blending in with the marble countertops. I'm moving quickly, so I accidentally leave it there. Give it an hour. sissies but Jay happens to be in town that same weekend. So instead of just sending it to me, who would have been the only culprit if Jay wasn't in town, she sends us in a group chat, and she sends she doesn't even say nothing. She just sends a picture, and she's like, who did this? No. And it was me.
No, but she said, if y'all leave this around my kids.
Yes, she was like, do this again, and we're going to have problems. And when I told you in the first episode, my sister doesn't piss me off, we rarely ever are like really beefing. My heart has never dropped into my asshole so quickly because, one, it was a genuine mistake. Never would have intentionally done that. But also, she's going to beat me up. Today is the day.
If I said it, I meant it.
And we've had only one other instance where she balled her fists up at me. And I don't even know if she remembers doing this, but
of course I remember. It was the only time I've ever done it.
I cussed at Mom. I was in high school, and she comes home from college, and it's been a week, maybe 2 weeks. So it's not even fresh anymore in our home, but it's fresh in her head because that's
I've been thinking about this since I left.
Since my mom tattled on me to my second mom
me tattling, just so you know, is the only thing that kept me from fucking you up.
Oh, no, I know. But also the gag is, in this situation, I feel like it's good for context that I wasn't even cussing at her. Like, I didn't call her out of her name or anything. I just said the word fuck in speaking to her. So I wasn't being disrespectful in my brain. And still today I'll stand on that I feel like I wasn't being disrespectful. But I felt like that word belonged there in that sentence that I was.
We know.
That I was saying. Anyways, so she comes home from college, and obviously I'm not backing down to what I said. And since I'm not backing down and she's so heated, I'm like, what are you going to do, Jessica? Like, you going to hit me? Like, okay. And what about it? Like, hit me then, since you're like so gonna hit me.
Since you're so in college.
Since you're all cool and stuff. Like, since now you're too good for us, go ahead and hit me. It's gonna make you feel better. And she literally balls up her fist.
And did what I said I was going to do. Never back down from a challenge, babe.
No, not at all.
And also, not saying that because I'm proud of how I handled it or whatever, but I did handle it the best I could at the time.
Yeah, with the tools that she had at the time.
And also, it's just
these.
And on top of that, that was on the heels of her just putting hands on somebody else at school. So she was just in a hand putting on type of situation. She just putting hands on. She going around town putting hands on folks.
And I'm crying because that was also in relation to
Mom.
So I definitely...
Don't play about her mother.
Don't play about my mother. Because why would you say that about my mother?
And she's like, yeah, I know she's your mom too, but she was my mom first. You weren't even here.
Literally.
Don't do her like that. Don't do her like that. But all of that to say that we have brought so much light as to what living under the same roof can look like, but don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
it can,
it's gonna
if you allow it to get there, it can go there. And so I think that there have been many instances where things could have gone left, and they did.
Yeah.
And
we survived.
We did, to even get to this point to say that we'd sign up and do it again.
And laugh at it.
I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up.
I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to work harder. Okay, but...
Work harder is the key.
Look, that part. I also have a funny like moment.
And then we're going to close on that because this episode has been super long, you guys. So we're going to let you tell your funny moment.
Okay, but we're blessing the people. But yes, okay, let me tell my moment.
Listen other people.
Okay, so literally, and mainly because it's so fresh.
Okay.
So last time we were in town for my birthday, we're like, at that point we had already known that, or we were kind of rounding out the details of what the move would look like. But we're staying in the guest room, and, you know, Mom's palace has multiple guest rooms. One of those rooms is Steven's kind of man cave. And so he has his routine, which love that for him. and doesn't bother me at all. Like, if I'm asleep, I'm asleep. But we had a night out. Me and Q are asleep, and it literally, the sun is not even out yet, and you can hear Papa Stephen praying. And y'all, when I tell you,
he be getting into it.
My stepdad is gonna pray the house down. Okay, the house is covered. Not just the house, everybody, his wife, his grandkids, his kids by name. Like there's a fervor that he prays and worships with that is just a blessing. And I know that it's a blessing to us and everybody in his village. So again, love that for him and for us. But it wakes Q up. So, and I can't remember.
Did it startle him? Or
I think so. It startled him because he's like, is that Mufasa?
He's so funny.
He's so funny. Is that Mufasa? And so we're like talking. He's waking me up, and I'm like, it's not bothering. I'm still asleep, and he can't. He's like astonished that somebody is actually up at his time of day. Like those are his operating hours. 5 and beyond. He's up and kind of doing his own version of this routine that he's now getting to see another man do. And him also coming from a single mom household, that's not something that he's ever experienced. And so even though in that moment he was like kind of taken aback, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but I think there was a level of reverence and respect that came with that interaction, because although Stephen that's his private time, like he deserves to have that in his home. He felt like he was intruding a little bit just by being in the next room, but also felt just so honored to be able to see another man, how he started his day caring for his home. And if you call yourself the head of the household, what that looks like beyond what he's ever known, because of course he's trying to do it to the best of his ability, but with no textbook or manual to it, not having his dad in the house. And so I think that really set the stage for him to say, like, that's not fair to us to be right here next to him in his sacred space. He deserves to have that in his home. We might want to think about picking a different room. Like when it's time to make the move, let's figure out a different situation. Yeah. But then also him being able to give Stephen his flowers to say, I know that wasn't your intention when you were in there praying the house down, but that really blessed me in a way that I don't even know if I don't have the words for it. That would have to take him expressing it. But a moment that was funny that turned into a heartfelt moment and something that we're holding with us, like, and looking forward to in the future. So not only am I looking forward to being in the presence of my mom and like my matriarch, but he's also like another man. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
That I respect.
Yeah.
That loves me and that I love. Like he's also ready to have his cup filled in that way. And love that for him. Love that for us.
That's cool that y'all got to, express like some of the funny things that have happened, and there's going to be more funny memories, that'll be created, sad ones too. But that's all that's what it's going to take to continue all those building blocks, right? That's how I see them, building blocks to continue to build this safe space for all of us to really grow into everything that God has for us. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And before we get out of here, I actually have a video that's trending on social media. So, this was a great conversation, but we do love to take it to the audience too. So she is actually a follower of the pod. So, Hey, Danielle. Hey, girl.
Danielle.
And not only is she a member of the Feels Like Home fam, but also we went to college together.
Okay.
So she and I went to college together along with Q and her husband, Rob.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So cute. So we were all at Baylor together, and she recently posted a video on Instagram and on Instagram and TikTok. It literally has over 1 million views right now, over 7,000 comments. The people are loving it. Yeah. And so I wanted to show you guys. I'm also going to put it on the screen so you guys can follow along. But I thought that it was a great example of, because we've shared what multi-generational living looks like for us, just another example of what that can look like, so that if people are interested in kind of experiencing it for themselves, maybe what they have to look forward to. So
cool.
Let me pull it up.
Let's take a little look-see.
This is in real time, y'all. We have not seen it.
No, I saved it just for this.
Take a little look-see. I've seen this 100,000 times. I love it. This lady is my motivation. I can't wait to be 91. I mean, I could wait because I got some swimsuits to wear, but...
Turn the Wi-Fi off.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, so
sweet.
That is so sweet. Watching her stories. Minding her business.
You know I got loose tear ducts, Jessica.
I just love it. I wonder if she cusses.
You know she don't.
Because I'm still going to be cussing at 91. Listen.
I know she washed that chicken. That's what I know.
Period. I'm just eat no chicken and not wash it.
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh my God. But you'll be eating some good chicken. Don't be playing with me. On Thursdays and Fridays.
Right. For 3 days out of the week when she come to stay with you.
Because Steven doesn't make sides. He just fries chicken.
That's all you need.
That was adorable.
That is. I just love that for her family and for the, for
and
all
for
of
her.
them.
Yes. So they
Oh my
have
God.
2 kids. Like I said, they're, I think they got married maybe a year or 2 before Q and I did.
Yeah.
But she was sharing with me how much joy and life that she adds to their household. And I think that, yes, multi-generational living can come with some complications, but if you're committed to the mission and figuring out how it can work for you and your family,
Absolutely.
it's
It
never
can't be.
not worth it.
Never. I agree with that 100%.
I think that a concept that really made me want to wrap this up, like that made me want to invest in the idea of having a compound or just getting comfortable living in proximity with the people I love is that so many cultures that are really thriving think 7 generations ahead.
Mm-hmm.
They make all the choices that they make and they set up the generations after them for up to 7 generations ahead. And like as people of color, but specifically Black people, being able to adopt that mindset because we see what it does for other cultures and how they're able to sustain their homes, their families, and their communities. That's something that we can really, really benefit from. And so...
And that we do know how to do innately.
Exactly.
Like we do have it
know how to
in
do
us.
it.
And
Yes.
even if history took a turn a little off kilter, it's still who we are as a people.
Absolutely.
And that dream that we have within us to live within community with one another is not for nothing.
Yeah.
But we have to be willing to do the work.
Absolutely.
And I hope that us sharing a little bit about our journey, maybe a lot of it, because we did make this 2 parts. Not saying that this is the perfect way. This is just us doing our best of rebuilding that village that we say that we want. And so I hope that if nothing else, it inspires you to have some conversations with the people in your life and in your village. And make
Thanks
a
for
space that
joining
feels
us.
like home.
Yes, and thanks for joining us. You guys, we appreciate it so much. Don't forget to drop the comments and the DMs. And, we want to hear from you. So we look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
Next episode. See you next week.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.